Yo, when I say the look on his face was priceless, hear me when I say the look on his face was priceless. You did? He wasn't expecting that. This dude came to prayer one morning, right? Now, he wasn't coming to pray. He was coming because he saw a church. He needed to use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? He had like a 50-pound rucksack on his back. You know, I mean, looked super heavy. And he went to pull on one of the doors of the church. And he couldn't get in, so he kept walking around. And he pulled on another door. Now, what caught my attention was I heard the door pull. I heard the noise because I'm usually at front at the door at the church in the mornings when people come in. Because, you know, we have women coming in predominantly. It's some men, but we have women predominantly. So we just watch the door for their protection. I thought I was tripping, you know, because I'm at the front door. But then I'll walk in the sanctuary for a second, you know, and then I'll walk back out to the front, stand out there, you know, for so many minutes, make sure no one's coming, 10 minutes so no one's coming. Then I'll walk back in the sanctuary for a hot second, walk around the sanctuary and walk back to the front, right? So in one of the times when I was coming back out the sanctuary, going to the front, or I heard the noise, I saw the dude pull on the door. He couldn't get in and he walked down the other side of the church. So I went out there to make sure everything was cool, right? And I didn't see the dude. I'm like, okay, homeboy didn't disappeared on me. Well, was that an angel unaware? I walked around to the other side. I didn't see nobody, right? So then I came back and I said, you know what? I better go on to the other side of the church just to make sure it's cool. And so when I went to the other side of the church to check and see where he was, and he would come around the corner, right? And so I said, hey, man, what's going on? What's good? You know, can I help you with something? He said, oh, man, I just need to use the bathroom. You got a bathroom I can use? I said, sure, come on, man. Come on inside. I take you to the bathroom. I first noticed it when he asked me could he use the bathroom, right? And I looked at him, and I can almost tell he was bracing for disappointment, right? And I said, sure, man, come on in. Yeah. It's not like his eyes got big like that, but he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, and took him to the bathroom, you know what I'm saying, and opened the door and turned on the light for him. I didn't go in there with him, he didn't give him his privacy, but I was hanging out like, 10 feet or so till he finished doing what he had to do, right? Because I didn't know what he was doing in there, you know what I'm saying? And I was just praying. I said, Lord, I don't want to go into no craziness. You know how some people, get in there and they get to being in for a while and they get to doing whatever they do, or they, get to having a moment and flip out and leave stuff on the wall. So I was hoping it wasn't that kind of moment. But what happened was Elder came out of sanctuary to check up on me, and I thank God he did, right? Because he obviously sensed something was going on. He saw something was going on, out of the norm. So he came, checked on me, told me what was going on. It was all good. He went back in. So then, I heard the toilet flush. I knew dude was coming out, whatever. Came on out, right? He was like, hey, man, do you guys, have any free lunches or sack lunches or anything like that? And I said, man, we don't have no kind of food or a facility to house food on the premises. And I could see the look in his face was like, because it was early in the morning and that sack was heavy, and I don't know where he had to go or where he was going, but that's a lot of weight to carry, you dig? And so I was like, yeah, we don't have no facility like that on the premises, but if you want to meet me at the A.M.P.M. at the corner, man, in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I'll buy you something to eat. You dig? As soon as prayer is over, I'll buy you something to eat. And the look on his face, like, for real? I was like, yeah, just right there. Just right to the corner. Right to the corner of the gas station. Give me about 10, 15 minutes. That's my car right there. Be looking for me, and I'm going to come through and hook you up. And he was like, okay. And then he went on his way. You dig? He was like, hey, man, do you guys, have any free lunches or sack lunches or anything like that? And I said, man, we don't have no kind of food or a facility to house food on the premises. And I could see the look in his face was like, because it was early in the morning and that sack was heavy, and I don't know where he had to go or where he was going, but that's a lot of weight to carry, you dig? And so I was like, yeah, we don't have no facility like that on the premises. But if you want to meet me at the AM/PM at the corner, man, in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I'll buy you something to eat. You dig? As soon as prayer is over, I'll buy you something to eat. And the look on his face, like, for real? I was like, yeah, just right there. Just right to the corner. Right to the corner, the gas station. Give me about 10, 15 minutes. That's my car right there. Be looking for me, and I'm going to come through and hook you up. And he was like, okay. And then he went on his way. You dig? And y'all, it's like the Lord allowed me to see this man's eyes. I mean, in real slow motion, right? He allowed me to see it from almost like what he was thinking, and then from what I said, and then how the man reacted, and with his eyes though, not in his emotion, his body language, just in his eyes. You dig? It was incredible. And I thought, how many Christians feel this way? How many Christians feel like let down here and disappointed here? You dig? Because of people saying they're going to do something and then they don't do it, right? They fall through, or they just ghost and abandon. You know how you tell somebody, oh yeah, and then you find another way to exit out because you don't want to deal with the situation. There's a lot of Christians out here, man, that's feeling just like that. Depleted, let down, feel like, they're not worth anything. And then they start having these confidence issues and speaking against themselves and all that, right? We have to learn, man, that everybody in the church ain't super strong and super saved and super built up like you may be. You did? There's some that's in the church that's still sensitive and still may, care about what you say and hold on to your every word. And if you say you're going to do something, you better keep your word, because you don't know how that's going to affect that person or the next person, because people talk. You dig? So I'm inside the church, and, Spirit said I need to get over there to that gas station, because, what we consider 10, 15 minutes to a person that doesn't have a sense of time may not see it that way. 10 or 15 minutes to them may seem like 5 minutes. You dig? So I left out of prayer, mobbed over to the corner to the gas station, and as soon as I pull in, he was getting ready to walk away. So I knew it was God. You know what I'm saying? He was getting ready to walk away, and I humped my hump, boop, boop. And he looked up and I said, yo, man. He's like, again, the Lord allowed me to see his eyes like in slow motion. I wasn't even trying to look. I'm just trying to get his attention, let him know, yo, I'm here. I didn't fake on you. I didn't ghost on you. I didn't dip. I'm here. And his eyes, y'all, was like, oh, wow, is this really going to happen? Is this really going down? So we got inside the gas station. I know everybody's kind of looking at him, crazy, like, what this dude finna get? You know what I'm saying? But he's following behind me. And I was like, yo, man, what kind of sandwich you want? You want a hamburger? You want a cheeseburger? He's like, yeah, I'll take a cheeseburger. Got him a cheeseburger, gave it to him. Okay, pick you out some chips, man, whatever you want, right? He picked out some chips. And I could tell by the way he was doing it, he was just like rushing, right? But then by the time he got to the chips, he picked up one, then he picked out another one. So, that's what you want? He's like, yeah, okay. So then I said, okay, man, come on. We went over to the drink. Pick you out something to drink. I was thinking maybe a Gatorade, to keep your electrolytes up. He's like, oh, yeah, that's a... So, hey, pick what you want. Open the door. He kind of just reached out and grabbed one. I said, man, pick what you want, right? I said, get another one. Because I didn't feel like he, my spirit, I didn't feel like he really was getting what he wanted. And it was important for him to get what he wanted. Instead of always people, if they're going to give him something, they give him what they want them to have. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, no, man, you choose. This is your choice. I'm not going to give you what I want you to have. I want you to have what you want to have. You dig? So he was looking, and so he reached down, got another Gatorade. I said, come on. So we went up to the front, paid for it, right? And then this man said, hey, man, God bless you. His name was Keith. It's like, God bless you, Keith, man. Be safe out there. God loves you. And he went out the door, and I went on to go get my coffee, because I paid for my coffee at the same time. And then the dude that worked at the spot, they know me. I come in there often, and he's like, oh, you such a nice guy. You pay for him something to eat, But it's like, he is me. You dig? He's no different than me. He is me. The same God that's in me is in him. And whether he's saved or not, whether he recognized the God that's in him or not, he is me. So why would I treat me any less? You know what I'm saying? Why would I treat him any less than I would treat myself if he is me? You dig? So let him get what he want. He was happy and I was happy for doing it. And so the Lord was just talking to me after that saying, you know, it's not just those that on the outside of the church. It's not just those on the outside of understanding. You dig? It's even those that are inside the house that need to be enlightened. It's those that are inside the house that really need to understand oneness. When God said, I will come in and make my abode with you, right? He's already here. We just need to become aware of him and recognize who he is, repent, you know what I'm saying, and ask him to guide us. So because someone is homeless or someone is having a hard time and they without, is no different than myself. When I looked at him, I saw myself, you dig? And that's why I was moved. Hey, let me get to do something neat, because that's me. Not that I'm homeless. I'm not homeless, or I'm not, anything of that. I'm operating in plenteous. But he is me, and I am him. And I got to treat him the same way I would treat myself. You dig? So just because he's homeless and I'm not, and I still love him and treat him the same way I would treat myself, how much more does God do for us, right? His children. So how much more should we do for our brothers and sisters that are in the church? We're so quick to do for those that are outside because of how it may make us feel or how we may think it looks unto God. But why not bless your brother, your sister in the house just as much as you may do for the one outside the house? Because there's a lot of people that are inside the house that's hurting too. And if we would just learn to slow down and look at their eyes, they may not say it in their body language. They may not tell you they need help. They may not reach out and say, hey, I can use a helping hand. I'm struggling. I need some advice. I need whatever. But if we take the time and look in their eyes, we can see. You'll be able to see who's sitting right next to you that could use a helping hand, could use a hug, could use an encouraging word, could use a couple dollars, rather than being so quick to do something for someone on the outside because how we think it makes us look and how we feel that it makes us feel, whether it's to ourselves or to other people that may be looking or watching. We need to take care of inside the house just as well as we take care of outside the house. That's like having a beautiful garden, a beautiful rose bushes all in your front yard, beautiful manicured grass at its edge and ain't no weeds. And I mean, it looks cool and pristine, like you really have someone come by and doing this like on a 2 times a week basis. You know what I'm saying? It looks great on the outside. It looks so good on the outside that it makes you want to come in. It makes you want to know what could the inside possibly look like. But it's bad when your outside looks dope and you go inside the house, it ain't clean, it's cluttered, it ain't been swept, it's spider webs and, it's trash, it's full and dishes in the sink. It don't match. So why would you treat your outside better than you treat your inside? We got to start loving on the inside as well. Message. That's the inside of us, treating us well and loving us well as our brother and sister in Christ. You dig? One love, this is your man Levon. Just want to come on real quick and just share these thoughts with you, you know what I'm saying, about how God allowed me to see not just someone's body language, be able to see them in their eyes and be able to really read what's going on. This is the same kind of time and effort and discerning that we need to do with our brothers and sisters that are in the house instead of just those that are outside the house. You dig? Your man Levon, be blessed on the day. One love. Remember, Lamella E, love, uplift, motivate, inspire, learn, laugh, encourage, and enlighten. Go check out some of the other videos. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Hit that bell notification so y'all is notified whenever I upload content. See you in my next video.